Genosha is a graveyard. Gambit is dead. The mutant sanctuary built in Season 1 has been leveled, leaving a vacuum where the X-Men used to be. The massive blast scattered the survivors across millennia, stranding them in distant eras without an obvious way home. They must survive this temporal exile without external help. This series operates entirely outside the boundaries of the mainline Marvel Cinematic Universe. This separation allows the writers to close loops that live-action versions cannot touch. In the finale, a silent cameo resolves a 26-year-old cliffhanger from the original Spider-Man animated series, reuniting Peter Parker and Mary Jane, a resolution logistically impossible within the current multiverse saga. A leaked trailer for the second season challenges us to map exactly where and when these separate factions have landed. We are left looking at a fractured roster, isolated in time, facing an immortal god named Apocalypse, with no chance of an Avengers rescue. The first temporal front takes us back thousands of years to ancient Egypt. Here, a pharaoh named Rama-Tut rules the land. He is actually a time-traveling variant of Kang the Conqueror, manipulating history from the throne. Under this regime, a young mutant named En-Sabah-Nur is exiled into the desert for his gray skin. He is found and recruited by a brutal nomadic tribe known as the Sandstormers. The Sandstormers beat a singular ideology into him. Mercy is a weakness, and only the absolute strongest organisms deserve to live. The stranded X-Men aren't fighting a fully formed supervillain here. They are watching the ideological birth of the survival of the fittest doctrine that will eventually try to consume their world. Centuries in the opposite direction, Cyclops and Jean Grey are reunited with their adult son, Nathan Summers. They find themselves in a timeline where Apocalypse won. Earth has been conquered and reduced to a barren, mechanical dystopia under his absolute rule. Nathan is infected with a techno-organic virus. It is a synthetic pathogen that actively consumes human biological tissue, replacing his flesh with living metal. To survive the infection and the regime, Nathan undergoes relentless tactical training with a rebel faction called Clan Axoni, transforming himself into the soldier known as Cable. This entire era serves one purpose: preparing the ultimate weapon for a cross-temporal war that the mutants are currently losing. Back in the present day of 1997, the disappearance of the primary X-Men team has created a massive power vacuum. Secondary mutant factions are stepping out of the shadows to fill that void, specifically the government-sponsored X-Factor and the militant X-Force. The leaked footage shows Polaris taking an active role, alongside Colossus, who is visibly mourning the death of his sister. We also see Nightcrawler in clerical clothing, hinting at an adaptation of the highly controversial The Draco storyline, proof that the writers are willing to mine some of the darkest, most complex lore available. Reflecting this tonal shift, the remaining heroes are abandoning their colorful, nostalgic 90s uniforms. They are adopting the bleak, black and gray leather outfits directly pulled from writer Grant Morrison's edgy early 2000s comic run. The trailer even introduces Danger, a sentient AI born from the Danger Room, a concept pulled from Joss Whedon's subsequent era. The 1990s present is shedding its reliance on nostalgia. The franchise is maturing, hardening its tone to deal with absolute loss. Looking at these three distinct timeline streams, past, present, and future, Forge and Bishop have initiated a present-day mission to invent working time travel technology. Forge's machines represent the only mechanism capable of bridging the distant past and the far future to rescue the original team. This sprawling, multi-era canvas is required to adapt comic arcs like Rise of Apocalypse and The 12, which demand a scope that transcends a single time period. Contrast this localized mutant epic against the highly connected upcoming live-action pipeline featuring shows like Vision Quest and Daredevil Born Again. Those projects must align with Marvel's overarching Avengers Doomsday plans. X-Men 97 remains quarantined from that machinery. That isolation is exactly what empowers the animated series. It can build a sprawling cinematic mutant universe without stepping on Avengers continuity or theatrical release schedules. Splintering the timeline while bypassing MCU canon transforms the series into a dense, standalone adaptation. It functions as a self-contained universe, prioritizing 60 years of mutant history over the interconnected needs of a film franchise.